What's up, Vikings Nation? Are you ready for one of the most intense off-seasons in Minnesota Vikings history? Because today we're diving deep into the biggest question shaking the North right now. Who will be the next quarterback leading the Vikings into battle? We already know one thing for sure. The Minnesota Vikings are adding at least one quarterback in free agency. That's not speculation. That's straight from head coach Kevin O'Connell himself, and when he speaks, we listen. But here's the twist. The names being floated around might surprise you. And one of them, almost nobody saw coming. Kevin O'Connell made it crystal clear during his season-ending press conference that competition is coming to that quarterback room. After an inconsistent stretch from J.J. McCarthy, Carson Wentz, and Max Brosmer, the Vikings are not standing still. And let's be honest, Vikings fans, this is about raising the standard. The Minnesota Vikings aren't rebuilding. They're reloading. And competition at quarterback sends a powerful message. The front office knows the NFC North isn't getting easier. If you want to compete with the top teams in the conference, you need stability, leadership, and someone who can layer the football at every level of the field. Over the last 2 months, rumor after rumor has connected different quarterbacks to Minnesota. From veterans looking for redemption to experienced starters seeking a fresh start, the speculation has been nonstop. But here's the truth. Nobody outside that building truly knows who the Vikings will target. Not yet. That's why when ESPN insider Adam Schefter stepped onto the Pat McAfee show, Vikings fans leaned in. Because when Schefter talks, it usually means something real is brewing. Pat McAfee set the stage perfectly, mentioning the buzz around the league that the Minnesota Vikings are searching for a quarterback who can truly layer a football. That's code for precision, anticipation, field vision. And then Schefter dropped the veteran bombshell. Schefter made it clear, the Vikings are likely looking at a veteran option. That tells us this team doesn't want to rely solely on youth. They want experience in that locker room. The first name mentioned? Kyler Murray, a dynamic playmaker with arm talent and mobility. Now let's pause here for reality. Murray is currently the franchise quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals, and there have been no credible reports suggesting he's being released or traded. So while Schefter mentioned him as a theoretical option, this would require significant movement league-wide. Still, the fact that his name came up shows the type of talent the Vikings may be evaluating: athletic, explosive, capable of stretching defenses vertically and horizontally. Then came another name, Geno Smith. Here's where we need to clarify something important for Vikings fans. Geno Smith is currently with the Seattle Seahawks, and there has been no confirmed release as of now. Any move would depend entirely on Seattle's internal decisions. If he were to hit the market, though, he'd bring experience, leadership, and proven production over the last few seasons. Geno revived his career in a big way, and that kind of resilience fits the culture Kevin O'Connell is building. But then Schefter mentioned a name that really caught attention: Daniel Jones. Now this one is fascinating. Daniel Jones finished the 2024 season with the Minnesota Vikings in a depth role, and the expectation around the league has been that the Indianapolis Colts would try to retain him. If the Colts fail to secure him, Minnesota suddenly becomes a very logical landing spot. Think about it. Jones already knows the building. He understands the offensive system. He could serve as a bridge starter while J.J. McCarthy continues developing. And let's be real, continuity matters, especially in a system built around timing and structure. There's also the financial layer to this entire conversation. Any veteran addition must make sense under the salary cap. That's one reason why some fans question the Kyler Murray scenario. His contract structure would require serious maneuvering. It's not impossible, but it's complicated. Meanwhile, Daniel Jones would likely command a competitive market price. Schefter even hinted he might be very pricey. That's a real factor for a Minnesota Vikings team trying to balance roster depth. And then there's the idea that the list of realistic options might actually be short. That comment from Schefter shouldn't be ignored. If the list is limited, it means negotiations could move quickly once free agency opens. It also means the Vikings front office probably already has a priority target identified. So let me ask you, Vikings Nation, if you had to choose, who are you bringing in? A mobile playmaker? A steady veteran? Or do you trust internal growth? Because make no mistake, The Minnesota Vikings quarterback room will look different very soon. The next week or two could reshape the entire direction of this franchise. Free agency always brings chaos, but this year feels different. This feels strategic, calculated, like a front office that knows exactly what it wants. And that's why this is one of the biggest Minnesota Vikings news stories of the offseason. Competition is coming. A veteran presence is likely arriving. And the quarterback battle might define the 2026 season before it even begins. Only time will tell what the Vikings will do, but one thing is certain. We'll be here breaking down every rumor, every signing, every twist in this quarterback saga. If you love the Minnesota Vikings as much as I do, smash that like button, drop your quarterback prediction in the comments, subscribe for non-stop Vikings coverage, and share this with every diehard fan you know. The future of the Vikings starts now, and it's going to be one wild ride. Skol.